Good morning and welcome to For Fantasy's Sake, the Quad City's first and only fantasy football show. We are brought to you by MPX Mobile Party Experience, the Quad City's best mobile party experience. No, I still don't know the tagline. I am your host, Doug Green Bean Casserole. He is DJ Jarvis, the Big Turkey. All right, so we were supposed to have another guest along with us, but he has not shown yet, so it looks like it's just us for the moment being. So I guess we'll just get right into it. Quarterback news of the
go ahead.
I was gonna say quarterback news of the morning. Still waiting to know about Lamar Jackson. He got off the bus where he was basically the only person on the bus or very few people on the bus. He is heavily guarded by security and nobody is allowed to be anywhere near him. So I don't know if that means that he's got the Rona. I don't know if that means that they're just trying to keep it under wraps. I just don't know if he's just like me and just hates people.
Is the security thing a statistical fact? Like, is that an actual thing?
It probably depends on how many security people are around him.
Okay.
But both Stacey Dales and Tracy Wolfson are reporting it.
Interesting.
So, go Fish. So, he may or may not start today. We will know when the inactives come out in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
they brought up Trace McSorley last night when it's at the last possible minute off the practice squad. So,
yeah, it looks like Tyler Huntley will start if Lamar is unavailable.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. It's a big week kind of for that. Will they, won't they? We could have a third straight week of
the Arizona guy.
Yeah, Colt McCoy in Arizona. Cam's making his first start. And I don't know if you watched a whole lot of that game last week. It kind of seemed like they were a lot better when Cam was in the game. So I was kind of questioning, outside of him knowing the playbook, why they weren't keeping him in the game in some more of those situations.
I didn't see a second of that game, but my assumption is that, yeah, basically just familiarity with the players and the playbook at that point. But week back now, playbook probably hasn't changed that much. How long was he gone? A year, maybe two. He was in New England like what, a year or two?
Yeah, well, just a year. So then but obviously there's different coaching regimes. So Jordan's starting off the day with telling us what he's thankful for, and he's thankful for Matt Nagy today. Doug's
absolutely. I am thankful for the fact that the Vikings cannot finish a game or make a kick. Take that, Jordan.
Got him.
All right, so let's take a look. So Josh Allen at number 1, Lamar if he plays at 2. Let's talk about that for a second, because if he plays and he's really that sick that he's that game time decision, do you think he still has his, he still looks his best out there?
I mean, when I
the Bears defense without Khalil Mack,
yeah, I would bump him down if you're still playing him if he plays. But I am finding a backup if my waivers are open here. Again, we should know before plenty of time before kickoff. I wouldn't be surprised if we know here in about a half hour. I know inactives are due at 11, but I wouldn't be surprised to know a little bit earlier. But I would bump him down. I think you're starting him if he plays, but definitely not at number 2 any longer.
Down a similar vein, Russell Wilson looked like hot dog crap last week. Are you nervous about rolling him out there?
Not really. So did Rodgers. I think that kind of comes from they haven't practiced in a while. I think with some practice, I think we're looking at some ugly weeks for quarterback in fantasy football right now.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, also, this is Thanksgiving week, so there will be a quick turnaround and 3 games on Thursday.
Bears, Detroit. What are the 3 games there?
I don't remember what the other 2 are. I just know Bears, Detroit.
I think obviously the Cowboys are Dallas plays the Raiders.
Okay, what's the night game?
And Bills Saints. So a lot of
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving Day. A lot of turkeys to be tossed around. It kind of seemed like and maybe I'm wrong. I'm just a casual follower here. It seems like we've had a lot of um, Bears Lions on Thanksgiving the last several years. Is that a thing, or am I just imagining it?
I think you're imagining it because this is the first time the Bears have played there in like 4 years.
Okay.
Like it's been a while, but it hasn't been like that long, but it wasn't like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah. They've played 36. I think they've played the third most Thanksgiving games behind Detroit and Dallas.
Well, yeah, division rivals will do that for you.
No, it's just interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is.
What's that?
Exactly.
Were you in the past in your younger age, were you a guy who played football with your friends on Thanksgiving, or were you just all about the watching the games and eating the turkey?
I mostly watched when I was in high school. We were spending some time having Thanksgiving with my aunt and uncle, and I played some catch football with my cousin, and I ended up breaking a finger playing catch. So yeah, so that pretty much ended that.
There's a lot of fun. Like we had this earlier this year, a lot of fun quarterback matchups. If Lamar's playing, even if Lamar's at 80%, that could be a really fun, different game to watch between him and Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
the
big one. What's up?
You might be looking at the future of the NFL right there.
I mean, yeah, and because you're thinking about that Dallas Kansas City game too. Have two guys who are there, and then you have Lamar and Fields going against each other. That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Yeah, we talked about Murray. All right, Derek Carr, Cousins. Whoop, go ahead. Cam Fields. Glad to see Fields kind of coming up in there. He's been throwing for a lot more yards than he was the first few weeks of the year, so that's good to see that he's kind of becoming more fantasy relevant.
I think those three, Newton, Fields, and two are they're really close to each other there.
Mm-hmm. I guess my question would be: can Cam do it again, or was that just kind of once lightning in a bottle? I'm backing Carolina, and it's all adrenaline there. I'm curious to see what he can do it again.
Yeah, I think that my tiebreaker for those three, I think there's going to be a lot of extra adrenaline even this week with them actually playing a game at home. And they're very well with 7 teams making the playoffs this year. They're very in the race to sneak into the playoffs. And I think Cam's ability to kind of run that ball near the goal line opens up things for not only CMC, but CMC's existence down there opens things up for Cam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two pair nicely with one another for whatever reason.
I will ask you. It's a very topical thing this last week with you and I and a mutual friend. What do you see as Justin Fields' ceiling? Like, what do you? I know you're biased. You're wearing the one on your chest right now, but what is your ceiling here?
I think he could be very, very good. I think there's no reason why he can't be Lamar Jackson level good. Do I want to put a Steve Young Hall of Fame career on him? No. I think that's putting too much pressure on him. But I can see him playing as well as a Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, style there. If you get the right tools around him and the right coach with him, I don't think an MVP on his best season of his career, I don't think that's out of the question.
I think if you taking away the turnovers, I think you could see him have a very Jameis career where he's going to be solid, getting you rushing yards, getting you rushing touchdowns. He's going to throw for a lot of yards. But I think I don't think nobody turns the ball over like Jameis Winston, except for like Patrick Mahomes this year. But
No.
That's where I kind of see Fields going. I think that next year at this time, we're not going to be surprised to see him on that first page. I just think he really needs more stability that playbook. I think that Nagy's kind of lost, and I'm really confused that you're supposed to be this guy who came from this genius's tree, and you can't figure out from April to August to, you know what I mean, to get plays in for this guy. I mean, Matt Rule did it in 4 days where Cam Newton had plays for him, and Matt Nagy couldn't do it in 4 weeks or 4 months.
No, yeah, I mean that's the same thing that Dan Orlovsky said back whenever he had his famous rant.
I feel like
in there.
I feel like in Kansas City, they basically spent an offseason just retooling a playbook for Mahomes. And so
they probably did because Andy Reid knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but
except when it comes to clock management. But
you've been there, and so you know what it's like to change what you do for a certain guy, and you couldn't do that in 4 months for Fields. Just blows my mind.
Yeah, well, 'tis what it is with those kinds of things. What would you do with Sam Darnold on the flip side of the Cam discussion?
I don't know. He looked really good to start the season, and then just kind of started seeing ghosts. So I guess you see what Cam. You have another year where you're paying Darnold, and he's got an $18 million cap hit. So you're not really. I don't know. And is anybody really going to take on that $18 million cap?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it probably depends on how desperate you are in terms of wanting a quarterback and thinking that you're the guy who can fix him. But
yeah. I mean, I thought I was in on I was in on him, and then he just I don't know.
Yeah. He regressed quickly.
I guess it's the only words that I can use for him. And I know that I'm really good at sitting on that fence with him, or with a lot of guys, but it's just so hard to even read that situation.
Yeah, and I guess if they re-signed Cam in the offseason, I guess that tells us everything we need to know.
Shane, I'm going to do you a quick favor here. It goes against everything we believe in here, but we're getting ready to go to commercial. And I want to give our friend Linda a little props here.
You got Linda's ranks?
I got Linda's kicker ranks here, so I hope Shane's still watching. Maybe. Apparently, I don't have share abilities for this tab. There we go.
Hey.
So, Shane, here's some kicker rankings from the great Linda. She's a former FFSQC contributor, definite friend of the show. Linda, we miss you. She every once in a while she'll pop in our group chat, so that's always nice. So Shane, here's your kickers. Obviously, if you're playing on MFL this week, you're not able to put any of these guys in your lineup. I have no idea who my kicker is. Oh, Jason Sanders is my kicker. She likes him, kind of. So those are your kickers. There you go. Yeah, Jordan, happy Thanksgiving. We're doing this for you, just for you two, for the holidays. And now we're going to go to commercial and act like this never happened. On the other side of commercial, we're going to have Brian. We're going to talk a little FFS. I'm very unprepared, have had a lot of
DFS.
Yeah, DFS. We are FFS.
We are FFS.
I'm very unprepared for the DFS conversation, but we're doing it here. What do football fanatics in the Quad Cities love more than Sunday football? Tailgating and partying before, during, and after their favorite college football games. And we're not talking about what happened in college football in these parts yesterday.
Oh,
And
yes, we are.
No, we're not. And Mobile Party Experience has the hookup for all our tailgating needs. Mobile Party Experience offers solutions for all types of party throwers and goers. They have towable trailers that offer music, TV, gaming, private bathrooms with running water, flushable toilets, beverage dispensers, coolers, grills and utensils, tables, chairs, and tents. They have all the amenities you could want or need to host a tailgating, partying, or event. Find them at their website, my-mpx.com, or on Facebook at Mobile Party Experience. Sunday is still the best day at Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill. While your favorite jamokes aren't on the deck talking fantasy football, they're still one of the best places in the Quad Cities for your football viewing pleasure. Their back deck is ready to go for football season. The sides are up and the heat is on to protect you from Mother Nature, where you can enjoy the Bears, Packers, and any of your favorite out-of-market teams. If outside isn't your thing, you can head on into the remodeled inside bar area and watch NFL Sunday Ticket on their numerous screens and play their adult video games. I hear they have the loosest slots in the Quad Cities. That's Kavanaugh's Hilltop Bar and Grill, 1228 30th Street, Rock Island, the non-bubble home of For Fantasy's Sake. Football season, it's about halfway through, and if you've spent Sundays watching football anywhere but Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, you've been doing it wrong. Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, 3333 North Harrison Street in Davenport, is the best place to catch all your favorite games, and there's still time to make it part of your football Sunday routine. Start your meal off with their famous McGuire's Original Nachos or Bready Nuggets. Then ask about one of their original QC-style pizzas, or be your own quarterback and call an audible and create your own. The Vans crew will be sure that your play call hits pay dirt every time. Van's Pizza Pub and Grill, 3333 North Harrison Street in Davenport. Come get served. Brian!
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing good. Doing better.
We're good. We're running a little on low energy today, man, so we need you to bring it today.
Hey, I've got a little left over after I got a little bit of a nap, and I'm at my own house instead of my mom's. That's better. So,
yeah,
Absolutely.
We're dealing with sick 2-year-old at our house, so energy's drained over here as well.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. We had a Friday night podcast, and over the last 3 weeks, each one of us has had flu-like symptoms. So I wound up with strep, and the other guy had flu-like symptoms on Friday. So it's been a rough couple of weeks here.
For sure. So, Brian, favorite question of the day? What stack are we looking at this week?
Well, I know the Chiefs fans won't be happy. My number one stack is actually Dak and CD after Cooper got it ruled out. So that's my number one. But I got a few more. And I kind of like Tannehill today, going along with A.J. Brown. And kind of on the cheap, I like Waller and Carr too. So,
is there any way with that CD and Dak stack, or are you bringing it back anyway, or are the Chiefs just too expensive to do something there?
Well, that's the worst thing. My big question, and I don't really know the answer, is how the backfield will break down in regards to CEH and Williams. I'm guessing Williams will get the predominant amount of run, but I don't know for sure. And if we all think that, then I think we should go with Williams on bringing it back. So.
Yeah, it's a hard situation to read. I do think that I do think that since CEH is their guy, he'll get some run, but I'm really not sure, even as a Chiefs fan, how they're gonna run things there.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. I think being out for a little while, Williams will still be the number one today, I think. So.
Who are you looking at bargain bin at wide receiver?
Well, there's actually a lot I like today. You got Rashad Bateman at 4,500 with Marquise Brown out. I think that's great. Gallup at 4,200 like I just discussed with Amari Cooper being out. Those are a couple of my absolute slam dunks to me. I think they'll both be top 25 receivers at less than $4,500. I think they're great plays.
Does anything change for you for Bateman if it's Tyler Huntley instead of Lamar Jackson?
Well, yeah, I definitely have to look at that. But last I heard it was 50-50. I believe that's an early morning game, so we'll know early enough to make some adjustments at least.
What are you looking at? I haven't really set a lineup yet this week, so I'm kind of. What are you looking at running back? Are you trying to fit like Zeke or Chubb in your lineup, or are you going to go cheaper and with your like Michael Carter's, Myles Gaskin type areas?
You definitely like Gaskin this week. He's got a great matchup. But as for me, I was able with those couple of cheap wide receivers I mentioned, and I think there's a couple more out there around that range. I was actually able to get in Hunt, and the one I really like this week at 6,200 is Dillon.
Yeah, with no Aaron Jones this week, he's going to get a lot of action.
He's going to get a lot of run, and I think you can fit in Chubb, but you have to go cheap elsewhere.
Right.
What about on a short week like this where we've got 3 games on Thanksgiving? You know, how much do you plan on playing Thanksgiving? Obviously, now this is a little bit of a question for next week too, but that's taken a lot of games off of the slate. How do you kind of handle a short week next week? Do you play a lot on Thursday, or you just say, that's one I'm just going to kick the can on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think I don't mind like a single game, but with 3 games, I think it makes it a lot more interesting. I wish I had the slate in front of me. I know the Lions are playing, I believe, the Bears, but I'm not familiar with the other 2 games. Obviously, there's not a lot of talent on that front Lions and Bears game.
Yeah,
Lions,
we looked at that earlier.
Raiders, Cowboys, and Bills, Saints.
Okay, so you've got plenty of talent to have fun with there. So that's kind of exciting.
What even go further past that too is that we setting a lineup in that main slate next week is going to be awful tricky, having those 3 games out and then Ravens, Browns Sunday, and Seahawks football team on Monday. So we're going to have to do some tricky things when we talk next Sunday about setting a main slate lineup.
Yeah, that'll definitely have to be in the articles, like you said. That's 5 main games out. But that being said, we've had a lot of injuries. We've had a 6-team bye week before, so we'll make a good lineup out of that.
Yeah, we had a couple weeks ago where Andrews, or was last week? No, Andrews, Kelsey, Waller, Kittle to even play at tight end.
Exactly, that was the strangest thing. I was starting my research, and I said, well, hold on just a minute. You're telling me the top 4 tight ends in the rankings are all out? But like I said, that's kind of where the creative minds come in, and we're all great at that. So,
yeah, some of us anyway.
Is there anybody this week? Is AJ Dillon one of those guys you're trying to get in every lineup, or do you feel like the ownership there is going to just be through the roof, so you're kind of trying to pivot elsewhere?
Being honest, to me, AJ Dillon's a slam dunk, and I personally don't care if it's 100% ownership. I'll go contrarian somewhere else. I think you just have. At that price tag, I think it's just too low to not play him. Now, that being said, he may have a dud, but I don't expect it. So, and if I do, if everybody else is thinking so, then we'll all have duds together. So,
right. Yeah, excellent point there.
What's your thoughts on Cam, and how comfortable are you rolling him out there as an option?
You know what? I've been borderline on him, but I think I would go with him. There are a couple other options, like Tua is right about the same price tag, and I like him slightly better. But that being said, I think Cam could have benefit today. He's got a pretty decent matchup against Washington, so I really don't mind Cam. The one nice thing about Cam in formats like this is he gives you that added rushing touchdown bonus and yards. So passing has not been good the last 2 years, but I'm still okay with him.
Do you think he takes away too much from CMC?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Do you think that he takes too much away from McCaffrey?
Well, I think possibly at McCaffrey's price tag. That's the worst thing about McCaffrey at 8,900. It's hard. It's always hard for me to fit the elite price tags in there and feel comfortable with the rest of my lineup. So, like you said, that 8,900 with Cam being in there, especially on the rushing touchdown opportunity, that makes it 8,900 feels like it should be more like 84, 85 to me. But
the Arkansas Alabama highlights had just popped up on my TV. If you had to play one of the two Alabama, we'll even throw Josh Jacobs in there. So if you have to play Smith, Waddle, or Jacobs in a lineup this week, who are you going with?
I like Devontae Smith. But that being said, my second is definitely Jacobs. Jacobs is the preferred pick for me at running back at 6,000. I think he's a really good value play. But that Devontae would be my one this week, and Waddle would be last just for me.
We're getting really close to being able to set an entire lineup with Alabama
dudes.
And the fact, and I mean, it was always possible, you always had the receivers there, but like until Henry came along, I guess, Ingram was productive and everything like that. But now it just seems like every year, and we've finally got those quarterbacks. You got, however you count Jalen Hurts, if you want to count him as a Bama guy, but you could probably even have an entire fantasy team of Bama guys and fare pretty well.
Who are you playing at tight end?
OJ, you got to go with OJ Howard is your only situation there. Didn't Irv Smith go to Bama? I mean, I know he's hurt.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So, I mean, Bama too. Down the road, you feel pretty good.
Oh yeah, you could definitely win with an all Alabama. With like I said, I personally count Hurts, but you've already got Mac Jones for cheap in regards to DFS pricing.
And Tua,
like today, you could use Ingram pretty good. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's always kind of fun to talk about that kind of stuff. If you were trying to save at quarterback, where are you going?
Going inexpensive. I'm going with Tua, probably as my number one cheap option. But I also kind of like Derek Carr this week.
Hey, not to cut you off. Shefty just popped in. Lamar is inactive.
Oh wow.
No Lamar Jackson today.
And then I would probably transition off of Bateman just because we saw Huntley. What do you see? We saw Huntley finish a playoff game, if I remember correctly, last year against the Bills, and that was pretty ugly. So.
Somebody, I'm not mentioning any names or pointing any fingers, had an opportunity to get Lamar Jackson off his roster this weekend.
Somebody had just traded for him and gave up his boy Justin Fields for him. So he wasn't going to just turn around and give him away for.
So what do y'all think about this dynasty trade? I had one this week where I got Kareem Hunt, and I also picked up Mooney, and the guy wanted Fournette and Corey Davis. Which side would y'all have been on?
Dynasty?
I'm going to abstain.
You said dynasty?
Yeah.
Doug's the morality police, so Doug would never get Kareem Hunt in a trade. But so Hunt and Mooney for Davis and Fournette. I'd rather have Hunt and Mooney.
That's the side I went to. And then the funny thing is, the next day, the guy tried to trade me back for Mooney for Corey Davis and threw two chumps into the deal. So.
And who?
He threw like Gio Bernard or somebody like that, and an equal running back trying to get Mooney back in the trade. I was like, well, you just traded him. I'm not giving him back. So
it'd be nice if I spelled Jackson right in the banner. I'm surprised Doug didn't catch that.
Can't take you anywhere.
I was trying to get the news up there, Doug. Trying to get up the news. So Brian, you're
about you not being able to get things up somewhere.
You're more than welcome to stick around for the rest of the show if you'd like. If you've got time, if not, you can come back normal time, if whatever you've got time for today.
What I'll probably do, I might come back around 11 if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Sounds good. We'll be talking a little inactives and tight ends around 11. So you're more than welcome. Come back whenever you got time.
That's good. I'll pop back on. Thanks for the offer, guys, and I'll see you all here shortly.
Yeah, we'll see you in a bit, Brian.
See you, Brent.
All right, bye-bye.
With 5 locations within the Quad Cities area, Ray's Barbershop has provided first-class service, haircutting, and shaves since 2010. Ray's Barbershop has been voted the Quad Cities' favorite barbershop year after year. Yes, Doug, I know I need a haircut. They take tremendous pride in their work in maintaining the fine art of classic meets modern barbering. Ray's goes above and beyond to make sure their clients' level of satisfaction is met. You won't find the Rays experience anywhere else. Located in the Belgium neighborhood of 7th Street in Moline, Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill is home to some of the Quad City's best food and drink specials. On Sundays, there's no better place to be. Clint's is serving up 75-cent wings and $4 Bloody Marys all day. And your favorite team playing in those out-of-market games, you'll never miss a second of the action on one of their 10 screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. And after you've had your wing and bloody fix, finish off your football watching experience with one of their famous Quad City style pizzas. And folks, they know pizza. They've been spinning QC style pies for the last 22 years. So make Clint's part of your Sunday football routine. Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill, 7th Street in Moline. I don't know all the details, so I haven't been able to quite make a commercial here for them. But Clint's did open a second location on the Iowa side now. They're on 3rd Street. Yeah, 3rd Street in Davenport, where in the old Harris Pizza building. So be on the lookout for that if you're on the Iowa side of the river.
Makes sense. And 22 years is a long time. I just passed that being married here a couple of weeks ago.
Also, who doesn't need a solid handcuff on their fantasy squad? Grab a bite to eat at Clint's Draft House while watching the noon games. Then head on over across the Moline Rock Island border to the corner tap for some libations during the 3 o'clock games. And every Sunday is fun day at the corner with $3 tall boys, Bloody Marys, Jack Daniels, and $2 PBR drafts. Head into the corner tap, 4018 14th Avenue, Rock Island, and get into the end zone.
Squeak. You need to oil that chair, bud.
I know.
All righty, so that will take us into said running back segments.
I unshared that screen to get kicker rankings up.
All right, CMC, Najee, Dalvin, Chubb, Eckler, Taylor, Swift, Mixon, Zeke, Connor, Dylan, and James Robinson.
It was kind of crazy to put Taylor down that low with how just amazing he's been. Since Derrick Henry went down, he's been legitimately like the top fantasy player. But Buffalo's just been really good. Giving up an average of 13 and a half fantasy points per game to opposing running backs. That's good for the best. So it was hard to put him down there, but I think you couldn't go wrong with anybody really on this page. I think that we even spoke on this last week. To even think of the fact that we're putting James Robinson on this first page of this list again is kind of, or not James Robinson, sorry, James Conner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to even think that we're putting this guy on this list now is kind of incredible.
Crazy, yes. One thing I do want to dispute, the great Matt Harmon tweeted this morning, it's not if you're going to put A.J. Dillon in your top 10, but where in the top 10 you're going to put him. And, of course, you put him at number 11, screwing the whole thing up.
I mean, the only guy I would really bounce out of there would possibly be Connor.
You're still wrong. I might kick out Mixon.
Yeah. Mixon's been surprisingly good. He scored a lot of touchdowns this year. And including in 3 straight games and 5 of 6 games, he has a touchdown heading into their bye week last week. So it's just really hard to bounce him out. Vegas about middle of the pack, 12th in points allowed, but they're allowed.
Did you say he scored a touchdown last week on his bye week?
Going into the bye week.
Oh, okay. I'll have some more coffee.
No, I understand. I might have phrased it a little strange there. So Mixon's just been a hard guy, even to rank. But yeah, I think realistically, Dylan maybe at a 10 for me, possibly, but I liked him there at 11.
Okay, I'm just saying Matt Harmon says you're wrong. So you can go argue with Harmon.
No, that's fair. I'm not going to argue with anybody today. I don't have the energy for it.
All right, let's take a look at page dos. Página dos. I still remember some high school Spanglish. There we go. All right. Fournette, Monty. Saquon actually playing this week, it looks like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of people rejoice to have Saquon Barkley back.
That only took 11 weeks. Williams, Josh Jacobs, Gibson, Mitchell, Foreman, Ingram, Freeman. Where's McKissick in relationship to Gibson after we had that big discussion last week about those two are intricately linked?
Yeah, he's on the next page shortly after here. I don't exactly remember what number right off the top of my head. But Gibson was pretty good last week. 64 yards and 2 scores. He did only catch 2 passes for 14 yards, but he definitely had a bounce back game. Got himself all the way up to 19 in the old PPR rankings, and so I think that we're entering that area where they definitely gave him the bulk of the touches again. For McKissick, he only had 2 carries, which he got 4 yards out of, and 4 catches for 35 yards. So they definitely turned to Gibson last week. That could have been game script because they were leading Tampa Bay for a considerable amount of that game. And so I think that they were trying to kind of take the air out of the ball against Tom Brady. And that's part of the reason that Gibson toted the ball 24 times for 64 yards. But I'm believing a little bit more in what their plans are for Gibson.
Any given Sunday. Crazy to see that Tampa Bay lost to Washington last week, and Tom Brady was definitely not happy about that.
It was really funny.
I was eating some bread.
What'd you say?
Said he might have even eaten some bread. He was so upset.
It was really funny to see. They scored a touchdown. Like Brady threw a touchdown to somebody, and one of the Washington fans on the sideline, they just panned to his face of just, oh no, now we're about to lose this game. And I wish I had a screen grab of it.
Yeah. Always great when the fans become memes.
Yeah, absolutely.
In there. All right. Let's take a look at page 3 and see what nonsense is there and how bad that's getting.
Yeah, before we bounce there, I just want to what's your take on Montgomery?
He needs more work.
Yeah.
That's my thing. They basically said they were going to keep Herbert in the loop and in the game script, and then I think the last game he played, he got like 2 carries. So you can't believe anything that they say. But Montgomery needs his touches to be effective, especially there in the fourth quarter. That's kind of his thing. So you need to make sure that you feed him and you keep that offense balanced in there.
I know that the Bears have a really a good schedule the rest of the way out. That's very inducive to Montgomery being good. Do you think that the rest of the way out we're going to be ranking him in the top 12?
I would like to think so. Depends on whether the ball genius will figure that out. And with Laser calling plays, I feel better about it than Nagy calling plays. So yeah, it just kind of depends on how healthy he's feeling. Like I said, how much work they're going to give Herbert, and maybe Cohen comes back eventually at some point this year. So there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed in that backfield, but you got to make sure that Montgomery's the guy getting the touches because he's really the guy that kind of drives that motor.
Absolutely.
All right, there's Mr. McKissick. Alex Collins laid an egg last week. Tony Pollard, Dearness Johnson's way down. Moss, Singletary, Jordan Howard. Somebody offered me in a league this week They wanted me to give them Saquon for Jordan Howard and somebody else, and I'm just like, get out of here. I'm like, that's not happening. I mean, even in a redraft league, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think that really realistically looking here, I think like most weeks, this is kind of your graveyard. We're kind of looking at.
Why is Hines so low?
He's
I feel
really
like he should be higher.
Yeah, they've really kind of taken him out of the game script. Since Taylor's turned it on. Like he's almost out of the rankings most weeks because they've just really taken him out of the game script. And it's crazy to think that I'm saying that and he's still ranked ahead of the RB1 in Houston.
Yeah.
RIP to friend of the area, David Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough down there in that Houston's just a void when it comes to their professional football team at this point. If you're not Brandon Cooks.
You're not Brandon Cooks. That's exactly what I was going to say. So Nyheim Hines only saw 18 snaps last week.
That's crazy. Like he's such a dynamic weapon that I would think that they would try and find a way to use him more.
And they just gave him some money. Like,
yeah.
So
clearly the folks in Indy don't know what are still fuzzy as to what they're doing. I mean, they're starting Carson Wentz for God's sakes.
So he turned 12 touches 2 weeks ago into 20.8 points against the Jets. They also put up 45 points in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But then last week, he still only got 4 touches. So it's all about what he turns his touches into.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has as many games under 2 as he does over 15. So,
yeah, tell that to a guy who's trying to know when to start him every week.
You got to know when to start him and know when to sit him.
It was less of a decision before Chris Carson decided to just blow up.
Yeah, I would like to get like Scott. He wrote for us over the off season. Bills fan. I would really like to get his take on the Buffalo Bills run game. Their best running back is definitely Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see what his take is on that. Hey, before we jump into commercial, we do have a question here, Doug, that you would be better suited answering.
I haven't heard this rumor. I guess I would be okay with it. Lord knows the man likes to throw money at things, so if he's willing to pay and put a competent team on the field, looking at you Cubs, then I'm okay with it.
What about a competent team on the field? Couple years win a championship and then tear everything down.
If that's the plan, it's okay. But you have to be upfront with folks, like with Marlins did, like in the late '90s, early 2000s, where they built it up. They went to the World Series for a couple of years, and they tore the whole thing down and then rebuilt it again. And they were like, "That's what we're going to do. We're just going to keep doing the cycle." I'm all right with that as long as you have a plan to do that. Mm-hmm. But you can't just be like, "We're going to go in. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're trying to win. We're trying to win." And here goes everybody. You can't just do that.
Yeah. I feel like if it was possible anywhere you can get away with it, it's in Chicago.
Oh, whatever. You St. Louis.
No,
Packers, but you would drink that. They would be like, "It's gonna be great. We're the best fans in baseball. We don't ever cheat. We've got the greatest catcher of all time."
Did you lose your teeth?
I did. True story, my grandfather did not have any teeth.
Oh my God, you just ruined my brain. What was left of it?
Well, at least it wasn't much I had to deal with there.
Unlike my brain, Bad Boys Pizza isn't hard to find. Now serving in 3 different locations, Moline, Davenport, and downtown Davenport at River Music Experience. Their restaurant and bar stays open late, not only on the weekends, but weekdays too. Bad Boys specializes in Quad City style pizza and daily specials, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. They also offer food carryout and pizza delivery options at your convenience. They have a full bar at all 3 locations with 24 taps in Moline, 32 taps in Davenport, and 20 in downtown Davenport. They also host exciting events such as Quad City Storm parties, NFL Sunday ticket giveaways, and other sports viewing parties. Bad Boys always has the coldest beer, and the atmosphere is always welcoming. For great people, drinks, and Quad City style pizza, choose Bad Boys. Durham Remodel. What's up?
So what you gonna do?
Durham Remodeling has been serving the Quad Cities area since 1973. With nearly 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all your home improvement projects. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. Call 309-786-6715 for all your roofing, siding, flooring, windows, and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715. It's Sunday Fun Day over at Frick's Tap. Iowa's second oldest bar is guaranteed to have your favorite team on one of their 13 TV screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. Get on into Frick's now, where they will be joined by Smoked Out Smokehouse every Sunday. And boy, does that menu look great. Barbecue smoked ribs, pork chops, wings, you name it, you can get it during your football game over at Frick's. So for Frick's sake, head into Frick's Tap, 1402 West 3rd Street, Davenport. I had to pause for effect there.
Frickety frack. Wide receiver rankings. Devontae Adams versus Justin Jefferson in that game. Who you got?
Well, obviously Devontae Adams, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's kind of where Green Bay's secondary is a little bit better. But that'll be a fun game, especially if you happen to roster Adams and Jefferson in the same league. Kind of be a back and forth affair between those guys.
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be look what I can do kind of thing, back and forth.
Yeah. The only thing is like Jefferson's showy, but Adams kind of just goes out there, does his job, and shuts up.
Yeah. Yes, I remember the good old days of the diva wide receiver ones with T.O. and those guys where you had to run your mouth as well as catch the football.
How awesome is it? I mean, not awesome because I don't roster him anywhere, but beginning of the year, we're like talking, Jamar Chase, just boomer bust. It has to get in the end zone to be viable. And
that's what you said, not the rest.
No, that's what Chris said.
Okay.
And the guy's sitting at number 5 for the year.
Nobody's surprised.
Like,
I'm not surprised.
Well, and then they were getting absolutely railed. The Bengals were for taking Chase over Penei Sewell. And Chase has just been good. And Cincinnati's won games. I mean, Mixon's done well. Burrow stayed vertical.
Chemistry's a thing.
Yeah. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Yep. I think the big name missing from here, he was originally number 12, but he is out just like Lamar. No Marquise Brown.
He's not in the 12? Really? Wow.
He's been surprisingly number 6 overall this year. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Speaking of number 12, I will ask you the question that ESPN asked is, how much do you trust DK Metcalf with as bad as Russell Wilson looked last week?
I think he's going to, once he got practice in this week, he's going to be okay. I'm firing him up. Obviously, you're firing up DK Metcalf, but
yeah.
I think that there's going to be a different DK Metcalf out there this week. He not only had 3 catches for 26 yards last week against Green Bay, he let his emotions get the best of him and got into a little skirmish. I think there'll be a different DK Metcalf out there.
Well, yeah, because you never know what color his hair is going to be. What that should be one of our weekly random questions. What color is DK Metcalf's hair this week?
Deal.
I haven't seen anybody change their hairstyle that much since Rodman was in
I
the
was hoping.
NBA.
I was hoping that was going to be what you went with. I wonder if Seattle made the Super Bowl, if that'd be a Super Bowl prop bet. What color is?
Oh, guaranteed.
So, Doug, I'll ask you here. Do you think I'm too high on Deontay Johnson?
Yes.
Okay.
Says the guy who just picked up Claypool. Yes.
I mean, he's.
I mean, I would have to look at the numbers. I mean, if the targets say it's him, I feel like him and Claypool are basically like dead even, and then it's whoever Ben feels like throwing to that week.
So
I
don't have Claypool's up here.
Let me Google that for you.
Yeah, Johnson missed game 3. So okay, so what I'll say is I'll say game 1, I'll throw you out Johnson's targets. And then you tell me Claypool's.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so 10 week 1 against Buffalo.
5.
Week 2, 12.
9.
He didn't play week 3. What did Claypool have week 3?
15.
Okay.
He didn't play week 4.
Claypool didn't play week 4?
Mm-mm.
All right, so Johnson saw 13 week 4. Week 5?
6.
What was his stat line? Johnson had 2 for 72 and a score.
6 targets, 5 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown.
Okay. Week 6, 13.
7, but he only had 2 catches.
Week 8, 13.
5.
Week 9, 6.
5.
And then week 10, 13.
I don't see a week 10, so he didn't play last week.
And that was, he didn't play that week. And that was Sans Ben too. So, I mean, they're getting about the same amount of targets. Deontay's actually just learned how to catch. And I think a lot of that comes from Claypool's going out and running routes, and Deontay Johnson's catching a lot of that crap along the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have – is Claypool playing this week? I don't even have a Claypool.
Claypool is playing this week. He is active.
All right.
And in my starting lineup. And MFL is back up, by the way.
Oh, okay. So it gives me an opportunity to change my mind on my lineup again.
Yeah, I had to pull Lamar out, which is how I know. Mike Evans, boomer bust this week, since that seems to be – that's always a fun question.
Godwin's been a little nicked up. No Brown. We'll say
we're not going to talk about Antonio Brown's stupidity this week.
We'll say boom, but it's going to be a low amount of catches for an average amount of yards and 2 scores.
So it's a small boom.
So it's going to be like two catches for like 40 yards and 2 scores.
Okay. Lockett, same thing. Pittman, Cooks, Waddle, DJ Moore, Thielen, Smith, Kirk. I never know what to do with those Arizona guys. Outside of Nuke, man, it just feels like a dice roll every week, especially with no Kyler.
Yeah. I think the big guy on this list that I'm looking at is DJ Moore.
And how he reacts with Cam, yeah.
Yeah, and Cam looked like he liked Robbie Anderson when he was in the game.
Of course he did. Those guys are boys.
Yeah, so I am kind of curious what that means for DJ Moore. He was really good to start the year, 15, 21, 20, 31, and then not as great since then. 8, 10, 13, 9, 7, 6. He's more in the situation where you're playing him as a wide receiver 2 or a flex every week.
Yeah. Problem is the draft capital you had to get him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really kind of is irritating about that.
I mean, I just spent a first-round pick in a league to grab him, so.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought you overpaid there.
I like him. I like him past this year, so.
Yeah, that's fair. He's got himself. I think he's got plenty of talent. I'll give you that. Whether he's
He's wide receiver 15 on the year, but like I said, it was a lot of very early booms.
Mm-hmm. Where's number 24 here? Do you not know how to count by 12?
I had to move Marquise Brown out, so DK Metcalf went up and nobody else went up.
Okay. All right.
Including the numbers.
Including the numbers. All right. Hunter Renfrow, Mike Williams. Mike Williams, talk about boomer bust, man. He was hot to start, and now he's not. Mooney, you never know. You hope that Mooney catches fire. The fact that Allen Robinson is not in the top 36 just breaks my heart. But
he's out.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, I'm not.
Is he going to play?
I haven't heard.
Okay. So here's a game for you.
Mm-hmm.
More points this year. Mike Williams or Keenan Allen?
Williams was so big at the start. I want to say Keenan Allen just based upon consistency because he gets the same thing like every week.
It is indeed Keenan Allen. Mike Williams or Deontay Johnson?
Johnson.
It's Mike Williams.
I'm
Williams. Huh?
I'm terrible at these, by the way.
Mike Williams or Brandon Cooks?
Cooks all day.
It's Mike Williams by a smidge.
See, I told you, terrible about this.
By a smidge. I think Gallup could have a boom day. I really wanted to get him into these rankings. Do you have the commercials open, Doug?
I can.
I didn't know if maybe you wanted to take this next break so I get the inactives pulled up. Also, yeah, Corey Davis.
I can do that.
Corey Davis is a big question mark for me every week. I want him to be good. And he had a couple early good weeks, and then he kind of just
not. Marvin Jones was supposed to be the guy that matched with Trevor Lawrence, and there's just a whole bunch of nothing there, man. That Jacksonville is not good.
Do you think that Trevor Lawrence is because of Urban Meyer, or do you think Trevor Lawrence is because of Trevor Lawrence? Is it the game or the coach or both?
I feel like it's more the coach at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Urban's clearly not taking this seriously, especially early on. So I'm going to go with it's the coach at this point.
It's a good take. I'm not here to disagree with you.
Speaking of good takes, before we get into the commercials, do you remember Sam Householder? He was a photo intern at the Times. I can't remember if you were there when he was there.
I don't think so.
He writes for Windy City Gridiron now, and he said this morning, if the Bears lose to the Ravens with that quarterback, with whoever is quarterbacking there, the coaching staff should all be fired.
Yeah, I'm reading that now. So if they lose either today or Thursday, that they should just be canned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, because no golf today or Thursday.
Did you see the statistics there on Tim Boyle?
Mm-mm.
So he is honestly one of the worst quarterbacks ever to start an NFL game.
Oh, we're definitely going to lose then.
And so in college, he threw in 4 years. He threw for 3,000 yards.
Okay.
Threw 12 touchdowns, 26 interceptions.
How did that guy even get drafted? How does he make an NFL roster?
So he was undrafted. The Packers signed him, and they liked him as Rodgers' backup.
Whatever.
And he actually got into like a wrestling match with Rodgers. I don't think it was an angry thing. But his 2,134 yards for Eastern Kentucky in 2017 led his conference, the Ohio Valley Conference, in passing yards.
That's gross. There's more passing than that in the Western Big Six.
He threw 11 touchdowns and 13 picks. At UConn in 3 years, he threw 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions.
Icky, icky, poo, poo.
And this guy is starting an NFL game.
He's probably going to beat the Bears.
And he's probably going to beat the Bears on Thursday.
Yikes, caramba.
Quick. Name 2 pass catchers, not named TJ Hawkinson or DeAndre Swift, that play for the Lions.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jamal Williams.
I'll allow it.
Ha!
All
Only
right.
because you threw in Swift.
All right.
All
Let's
right, here we go.
Yep.
Making me knock off the rust. With 5 locations located in the Quad Cities area, Ray's Barbershop has provided first-class service, haircutting, and shave since 2010. Ray's Barbershop has been voted the Quad Cities' favorite barbershop year after year. Ray's makes tremendous pride in their work and in maintaining the fine art of classic meets modern barbering. Ray's goes above and beyond to make sure our clients' level of satisfaction is met. You won't find the Ray's experience anywhere else. Located in the Belgian neighborhood of 7th Street in Moline, Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill is home to some of the Quad Cities' best food and drink specials. On Sundays, there's no better place to be. Clint's is serving up 75-cent wings and $4 Bloody Marys all day. And your favorite team playing in those out-of-market games? You'll never miss a second of the action on their 10 screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. And after you've had your wing and bloody fix, finish your football watching experience off with one of their famous Quad City-style pizzas. And folks, they know pizza. They've been spinning QC-style pies for the last 22 years. So make Clint's part of your Sunday football routine. Clint's Draft House Pizza and Grill, 7th Street in Moline. And who doesn't need a solid handcuff on their fantasy squad? Grab a bite to eat at Clint's Draft House while watching the noon games, then head on over across the Moline Rock Island border to the corner tap for some libations during the 3 o'clock games. Every Sunday is fun day at the corner with $3 Tall Boys, Bloody Marys, Jack Daniels, and $2 PBR drafts. So head into the corner tap, 4018 14th Avenue, Rock Island, and get into the end zone. So close. Chris in the car.
I showed up just because I heard Doug was going to botch some reads, and I was like, I got to be here for this. How's everybody doing?
Very good. How about yourself?
Good.
We want to see the baby.
I'm in the car, Doug. There's no baby in the car.
What's the point of
I'm
having
not
you
that
here?
kind of dad.
They don't.
I thought maybe Lindsay was driving. You were in the back seat with the baby.
Yeah. Well, I have to have a new chauffeur, is what it really is. That's the reason we had another kid. Is I need somebody to drive me around.
No, that's the whole point of why I have my children.
I heard there was some Tim Boyle talk, and it summoned me out of the inky blackness to come in and find reasons why the Bears will lose both of these games.
That's exactly what I said. I took your position of these guys are terrible, so we're going to lose these games.
They'll find a way to blow it. I have no reason not to think that. The one thing is that Justin Fields is ahead of where I expected him to be at this point over the last 2 weeks. So do you credit that to Justin Fields being really good, or do you credit that to Matt Nagy maybe having something to do with developing a quarterback? Because people want to give him credit for Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to give him any credit for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. To me, Nagy deserves no part of that, but people are kind of giving him credit for Patrick Mahomes, and now Justin Fields. Is Fields excelling because he's good, or is he excelling because of Matt Nagy?
Fields is excelling because he's putting in the extra work that Nagy is not providing for him. So he has realized that the community college teacher is not providing the correct homework, and he has decided to learn the subject himself in his off hours. So that's how I'm seeing this, is that Fields is the one doing all of the work and all of the prep and all the stuff that Nagy is supposed to be providing for him. Fields is all doing that on his own.
I did see that Fields is going into the wide receivers meetings and telling the guys what he wants and what he expects. And I think that's amazing that he's got that kind of leadership to just take over a room like that. I think even as a rookie, the fact that he's doing that halfway through the season shows you what kind of leader he can be, and I love it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if it's going to be his show, that's what he needs to do.
Yeah. So I know, Doug, Allen Robinson's hurt, and I heard part of that too. Do you think Allen Robinson has something going on this year that is keeping him from being great? I know there's been a lot of excuses about how they didn't get on the same page in training camp. He and Mooney are closer, so Mooney's excelling and Robinson's fading. Is there a reason why Allen Robinson has been a bust to this point?
I could buy if you would tell me at the end of the year that he needs some type of surgery, some type of like ankle surgery or something. I could buy that. There's some type of undisclosed injury that they're not telling us about that that's holding him back. I would totally buy that.
Mm-hmm. I know DJ is really bored right now because we haven't mentioned Chiefs in like a couple minutes, and so he's starting to get itchy over there.
Yes. Travis Kelce still has a terrible haircut.
Well, and I had one question for Brian this week too, because I just can't get over it. Devontae Adams has a really high price tag, but I want to pay it. Brian, are you in that same boat?
I'm staying. I mean, I love Adams. Let's not get carried away. But I'm just not able. I'll be honest. Each and every week, I just cannot get anybody above 8,000 in my lineup. So that's just me. I mean, I like to have balance within my lineup, and it kind of seems imbalanced whenever you pay up for that. So
No, I get that. And I don't know. It just feels like there's going to be one of those Rodgers weeks where he has like 3 touchdowns, and who they go to, Adams has to get at least 1 to 2 of those. So,
yeah, I don't agree. I don't disagree at all. What happens with me also, it's really important to know. I don't play in the big, the big pool tournaments. I'm usually in the 50-50 multiplier type lineups. So I'm looking for just consistency between that 140, 150 range. And a play like Adams is really obviously a huge could bring you down a league, like a really big league. So I'm a little bit more consistent across the board. So
right. No, I get it. And DJ was professing his love for Corey Davis again, which seems to be something that happens too often. And I think Corey Davis is kind of like Jameis Winston for some people, where you want to believe it every time you see it, and then he burns you like every single week after that, and you just end up paying for the love of that guy.
Do we ever tell you the story about how the one year in the Quad City Times Fantasy Baseball League, we made DJ way overpay for Albert Pujols just because he was so in love with him? And then he went up and won the damn league anyway, on top of that, which is what really
Albert Pujols will do that for you.
I know. That was back when he was prime Fat Albert, too.
It was my finding of Colby Lewis, who led the league in strikeouts.
Nice. I remember when DJ was in my fantasy baseball league and wanted to help me with a draft, and he spent 15 units on a Cardinals pitcher who wasn't going to pitch for 3 years.
That sounds about right.
I helped Chris with a fantasy football league once too. We should ask Craig DeVries how that one went.
Carlos Martinez is still of legend, DJ, because we spent 15 units on him and he didn't pitch for 3 years.
All right, so inactive today. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Carlos Martinez. Is Carlos
Love
Martinez on the inactive list?
Bye, Chris.
See you, Chris.
That was Chris, guys. Chris is a good guy. So, inactive for the Saints, obviously Alvin Kamara. No Ryan Ramczyk or Teron Armstead. Juwan Johnson, again, inactive. Ty Montgomery, inactive. The Eagles with Miles Sanders back. Kenneth Gainwell is inactive. For the Dolphins, no Salvin Ahmed and no Hunter Long. The Jets still without Zach Wilson, no LaMichael Pirine. The Washington football team, no Curtis Samuel again. Has Curtis Samuel played at all?
Parts of one game, I think. Somebody was asking about him the other day. They said he might play. I said, yeah, you might as well list him as doubtful. So
right. No Antonio Gandy Golden. I have no idea what they're going to do at tight end because Ricky Seals-Jones is inactive and Logan Thomas is still out. The Panthers, their two quarterbacks today are going to be Cam and PJ Walker, no Matt Barkley. For the Colts, no Marlon Mack. The Bills, no Jake Kumaro, no Tremaine Edmonds. The Lions, no Goff, no Jamar Jefferson. The Browns, no Donovan Peoples-Jones, no Anthony Schwartz. The 49ers are down Elijah Mitchell and JaMychal Hasty.
Oh, and swinging back to Washington football team, yes, I know you passed them, but I did want to point out no Chase Young, season-ending injury.
Season-ending injury, just like Mr. Khalil Mack.
You're just trying to hurt me today.
Texans, no, obviously, that one guy, no Royce Freeman. Jeff Driscoll's inactive, but I did hear that they were trying to turn him to a tight end this week. The Titans, no Jeremy McNichols, no Jeff Swain. Packers, obviously, no Aaron Jones, no Malik Taylor, no Alan Lazard, no David Bakhtiari, no Jack Heflin, the pride of Prophetstown, Illinois. The Vikings, no Kellen Mond, no Amir Smith-Marset. Jordan, my wife made that joke yesterday to let me know that he was out for the season, so that was nice of her. Give her some brownie points. The Ravens, obviously, no Lamar, no Marquise Brown, no Miles Boykin. Down for the Bears, Foles, Damian Williams, Allen Robertson, Jesper Horsted, Akeem Hicks, Artie Burns, and Eddie Jackson, which is addition by subtraction. So we'll quickly talk about the tight ends, and then Doug will read our last commercials.
Hang on, I had a thing I was going to ask you, and I don't remember what it is now. Oh, did you say Miles Sanders was up?
I did not. He's back.
Yes.
Yes, Miles Sanders back.
Okay. All right, that was it. All right, the ends that are tight. Pat Fryermuth all the way up to 8 already.
Big fan, Pat Fryermuth.
Hey, that was
Pat.
Thursday night. It was Thursday night, wasn't it? Okay, never mind.
Mr. Pitts.
Yes. That's how much I paid attention to Thursday night football.
Even playing Thursday night, he probably should just go ahead and be on the list somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think Pitts paid much more attention either, thanks to the way the game went. So
Fryermuth has been tight end 16 this year, and outside he only put up 6.1 points last week with Rudolph playing quarterback, who was looking a lot of Ray McLeod and Washington's way. So Fryermuth didn't see a whole lot, only 6.1 PPR points. That's standard PPR, not tight end premium. After big games against Washington, fairly big game against Cleveland. But I expect things to even out a little with Ben back this week.
one thing to keep in mind is Claypool is back as well, I believe. So
yeah.
Yep. We discussed that in the wide receiver segment.
I felt like in that Bears game, though, they were using Fryermuth a lot of times, like close to the line of scrimmage and just like kind of letting him do some stuff. Well, Fryermuth got a lot of those targets that Deontay Johnson was classically getting.
Classically? Was he like Beethoven now?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
He did a pretty good job last week against Darren Waller.
Tight end 2, Darren Waller.
What'd you say?
Tight end 2, Darren Waller.
Tight end 3, Darren Waller.
Well, Kittle's 1, Waller's 2.
No.
Yeah.
It's amazing just how solidified Travis Kelce is becoming as the greatest tight end ever walk the earth.
He's not even the greatest tight end ever to played for the Chiefs.
We'll leave that debate for a different day.
No, we can have that. Okay, fine, whatever. All right, so that will take us to the end of the segment. I guess I'm doing the commercials for some reason. On the backside of this, we will take your questions as always, and then we will do the rapid fires. As soon as I find the live reads again in here. All right. Bad Boys Pizza isn't hard to find. Now serving in 3 different locations: Moline, Davenport, and downtown Davenport at the River Music Experience. Their restaurant and bar stay open late, not only on weekends, but weekdays too. Bad Boys Pizza specializes in Quad City style pizzas and daily specials, so be sure to keep an eye out for those. They also offer food carry out and pizza delivery options at your convenience. That sentence needs a comma in there somewhere, Mr. Jarvis. They have a full bar at all 3 locations with 24 taps in Moline, 32 taps in Davenport, and 20 in downtown Davenport. They also host exciting events such as Quad City Storm, NFL Sunday ticket giveaways, and other sports viewing parties. Bad Boys always has the coldest beer, and the atmosphere is always welcoming. For great people, drinks, and Quad City style pizza and people, choose Bad Boys. Serving the Quad Cities area since 1872, Frick's Tap is always a great choice for your Sunday fun day activities. Also spelled incorrectly. Iowa's second oldest bar is guaranteed to have your favorite team on one of their 13 TV screens with NFL Sunday Ticket. Get on into Frick's now, where they will be joined by Smoked Out Smokehouse every Sunday. And boy, does that menu look great. Barbecue smoked ribs, pork chops, wings, you name it, you can get it during your football game over at Frick's. So for Frick's sake, head into Frick's, 1402 West 3rd Street in Davenport. You're not going to make me fall for that. Again, I will ask, have you seen Ted Lasso?
No.
Okay.
I don't have Apple TV.
Okay, so spoilers for Ted Lasso. There is a character called Jamie. Basically, what you typed in, so DJ was trying to trip me up and put in there that he was a naughty, naughty boy. And it made me think of the line in Ted Lasso where Roy makes Jamie say that I'm an ugly, ugly boy in a very Scottish accent. It was very funny in there. All right. Week 11 questions from the top. Here we go. Gunnar Haskins. Pick one of Cole Kmet, Pat Fryermuth, or Dan Arnold.
Well, those are nice selections. I'm gonna go with Fryermuth, I think.
That was what my thought was as well. DJ, is that yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pick one in the flex. Cortland Sutton. Ooh, that was loud. Cortland Sutton, Myles Gaskin, or Josh Jacobs.
I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs.
I'm going to go Sutton just to be contrarian.
What about DJ Moore? If you threw DJ Moore in there.
I'd probably do Moore then, if you're going to add him on there.
So Moore over Jacobs, Brian?
Yeah, Moore would be my top out of those 4.
That was my question. I forgot to put DJ Moore in there.
Loser. All right. Pick two of potentially Brandon Cooks, Terry McLaurin, Adam Thielen.
I'm going to sit Thielen.
Same.
Yeah, me too. All right. Who BHP808 on Twitter asks, in a half PPR scenario, Waller or Knox?
Waller.
So Knox.
Non-PPR, Swift or Metcalf?
Swift.
Agreed.
I'm going to go Metcalf.
Really?
I think Wilson will finally have a decent game.
Okay. And then pick one of Swift, Jefferson, or Godwin.
Got to go Jefferson.
Yeah,
Nope.
That's what I'm thinking. All right. And then Jordan's Book O Questions. Marvin Jones or Robbie Anderson?
That's not the prettiest, but I'll go with Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I was going to say Jones.
Once more,
It's a coin toss, really, but I don't think you can go wrong or right with either one. So
there are no right answers here. All right.
Exactly.
Pick one of Sammy Watkins, Brian Edwards, or Randall Cobb. Ugh. Speaking of no right answers.
I'm going with Edwards for sure.
Edwards as well.
Yeah. Something tells me Randall Cobb might be that guy that when Chris was saying that Rodgers is going to throw 3 touchdowns and 2 of them are going to Adams, Cobb might be the third guy in that scenario. All right. Pick one of Brian Edwards, Marcus Johnson, or I'm assuming that's T.Y. Hilton.
Brian Edwards.
I'll agree with Edwards. I like the upside.
Yeah.
He's great for DFS at 4,100. So
Cole Beasley or CEH?
who was
Beasley.
the second one? I'm CEH.
Yeah.
I'm going Beasley.
Yeah, I guess Beasley. All right. Cam Newton, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen in a super flex.
Oh, goodness. Definitely sitting Cam for me. I'm going to go with A.J. Brown, I guess.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. Pick which guy that ends in the letter Z, Zach Ertz or Dalton Schultz.
Schultz.
Schultz plays the Chiefs.
Ertz. There. All right. Darrell Williams or Donta Freeman.
Freeman.
Williams.
I'm going Williams. I still think he'll be the primary back. So
Cole Beasley or Corey Davis.
Beasley, better offense.
Beasley.
Mm-hmm. Mark Ingram, Darrell Williams, or Donta Foreman.
I'm still going Williams.
I'll go Ingram.
Yeah. Ingram or Saquon?
Saquon.
I've got to assume Saquon, if he's playing, he'll get carries. I'll go him.
Same. All right. Jalen Hurts or Russell Wilson? That's actually a good question.
That's a toughie. I'll go Hurts just because of rushing.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll take the contrarian and go Russell there. All right. Mooney or Darrell Williams?
Mooney.
I'll go Williams because they can be inconsistent. All right. We talked about CEH versus Darrell Williams' role going forward. All right. Where is the rapid fires? First question. Brian, this one is for you. What is your opinion on deviled eggs?
Oh, I love deviled eggs. Can't go.
Or do you love them enough to take them 101 in a Thanksgiving draft?
No.
Yes, I would, or my mom's stuffing balls.
Stuffing balls is an acceptable answer.
All right.
Anything to make DJ mad.
Ask the damn questions, Doug.
I asked the important question. All right. George Kittle, over under 63.5 yards.
He's my favorite tight end, so I'm going over.
Me too.
Over.
Okay. Eckler, over under 58.5 rushing yards.
Under, and I hope Shane shoves it.
I think he'll go over, but just slightly. He'll have a much bigger day in receiving.
Yeah, I agree with Brian there. All right, Myles Gaskins, over under 46.5 rushing yards versus the Jets.
He should smash that. I'll go over.
Yeah,
over.
All right, your top week 11 quarterback.
I'm going Dak.
Allen.
Give me. Screw it. Give me Rodgers.
So Brian, I need advice here then, real quick. So you said that you think Gaskin's going to smash over 46.5 rushing yards?
I think he is, yeah.
In tight end premium, would you start him over any of Kelsey, Kittle, or Waller?
No.
And would you start him over James Robinson or Josh Jacobs?
Possibly over Jacobs, but not anywhere else, no.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Brandon Cooks, over under 68.5 receiving yards.
Doug,
Over.
who's your quarterback?
Tyrod.
Oh,
in the contract league?
No. Who's your top quarterback for week 11?
Rodgers.
Okay.
Which is why Jordan's mad at me.
Under for Cooks.
I agree, under for Cooks. All right. CeeDee Lamb, over under 79.5.
Over.
Me, I'm over too.
All right. Jonathan Taylor, over under 74.5.
Under.
Versus Buffalo. Yeah.
Under.
All right. Top running back for the week.
I'm going Chubb.
A.J. Dillon.
Give me Najee Harris in a Sunday night special. McCaffrey over under 65.5 rushing yards versus Washington.
He'll go over.
Over.
Yeah, that's over. That is definitely over. Rodgers over under 270.5 passing versus Mini. I'm going to take the over on that, obviously.
I'm going under.
Over.
Jalen Hurts over under 47.5 rushing yards.
I'll have to go over here.
Oh, that's a lot. Over.
I'll take the under just for giggles. Top wide receiver for this week.
I'm going to go Homer and go Tyreek Hill.
CD.
CD's a good choice in there. Gimme. Looking for somebody with an ugly matchup. Debo. Give me Debo. Speaking of Mr. Chubb over under 83.5 rushing yards.
If Dearness Johnson can get that, I'll have to go with over here.
Yeah, I'm going to go over, but not by much. Deej?
Over.
Over. Okay. Mixon over under 86.5.
Under.
I'll go very slightly under.
Yeah, I'll go under on that. It's 2. DK Metcalf over under 65.5.
Over this week. It'll be a bounce back week.
Over.
I just don't know. I don't feel like it's there yet, so I'm going to go under on that. All right. Top tight end this week.
Kittle.
Kelsey.
Leonard Fournette over under 25.5 receiving yards.
Under.
Over.
Darnell Mooney over under 50.5 receiving yards.
Way over.
Yeah.
I would happily take way over. Okay. What color is DK Metcalf's hair going to be this week?
Red.
Green.
See, I was going to say green. I'll go orange. Favorite Thanksgiving side?
Stuffing.
Stuffing.
Stuffing balls, but I'll also green bean casserole. So.
Okay, we will accept that. Favorite Thanksgiving pie?
My wife
Pumpkin
makes
pecan.
pumpkin pecan.
Yes.
Interesting. My wife's chocolate chip pie.
Which you still have never brought me any, jerk.
Sorry.
Got to keep in mind, my
peach for
mom
me.
was a home economics teacher, so she does all the different stuff. So.
Cool. All right. Turkey, ham, or other?
Ham, but it's got to be what I call city ham as opposed to country ham.
What's that
the
mean?
difference?
Well, country ham is actually much more salty. So in Tennessee, we have to cut it with Coca-Cola.
You have my attention. You have my sweet tooth attention anyway. So for Thanksgiving, I think that you should have turkey, though. Any other day / holiday is a ham for me.
I'm a ham fan.
All right. And then what time are you eating? What time or day? Because I am off scheduling this year for Greensgiving. Time or day are you having it this year?
I haven't heard, but I'm betting 1 o'clock.
Since I have a sick 2-year-old, whenever she tells me.
Joe is going to her family on Thursday. And so I am time shifting ours to Friday or Saturday. And I have to have it done by 5.
If I was setting a time for Thanksgiving, I would pick any time during the Lions game.
Yeah, that's the problem is the Bears always seem to play the Lions, and that's when I need to get all my work done. So I generally end up not watching the game because I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game you can miss. Have a good time eating dinner.
Exactly.
All righty. Hey Brian, would you start DJ Moore over Deontay Johnson? No, right?
No, but I'm biased. I'm a Steelers fan. Of course, I'm going to say no.
I'm really infighting over here. I'm playing one of my buddies who's not going to make the playoffs. I'm fighting for a playoff spot, so it's a must-win game. And so I'm infighting. I have too many players on my roster that are startable. So
Yeah, I'd go Deontay. He's got the floor. If assuming it's PPR, go Johnson.
What's your as the resident Steeler fan of today's show? Before we get into Steeler fans on Monday night, what is your opinion on Johnson versus Claypool?
Always Johnson. Johnson's the number one receiver on the team. It's sometimes close, even when Juju was there, but it's Johnson. Period.
Okay, that is fair. All right, so that will take us to the end of the show. We will be back on Sunday. We will not do a Thursday show. You can always ping at DJ if you want to ask any lineup questions on Thursday, because he doesn't have anything better going on because the sick kid clearly won't take any of his time. But we will. The guys will be back on tomorrow night for Monday Night Hammer. The Points in the Paint guys will be back on Wednesday. Both of those shows are fantastic.
Way better than this show.
Oh, they're way better than this show. Except for Brian's parts. Brian's parts are great. Our show, our stuff. Yeah, you don't want to watch that. Those guys, those two shows are amazing with those. So they will be here this week. Make sure you pick up on those. Other than that, we want to thank Mobile Party Experience for being our primary sponsor. And with that, everybody have a good Turkey Day, and we will see y'all next week.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Well, where's your tagline, Brian? Good luck in your games this week.
That's it. Good luck to everybody. We can't all win, but we can at least try.